afternoon. It's June 26th, and we wanted to do a little video of us having to take down our tomato plants. In this box we had red snappers, and in this box we had halcinators, and they were doing pretty good. We had a little pH problem in the beginning, and we got that straightened out. And then we had a little bug issue. We got that straightened out. And then we're 3.5 inches under our rainfall, so we had some drought issues, but we was able to water. But what we can't control is the hailstorms that we get, and it just kind of decimated our plants. I'm gonna probably take this thing down next. That's a butternut squash, but you can see here about all these tomatoes. On this side over here, there's probably 8 or 10 of them that didn't have any soft spots or hole. You can see the bugs already in them now. I seen the flies on them this morning. We had a terrible hailstorm yesterday, and it just beat these plants down. You can see all the holes, and it was hard to take yesterday because as the storm was here, I was in this window right here watching these plants just literally get destroyed, and there was nothing we could do about it. Now these are a determinate variety, and they were already setting all of their blooms, so they had about finished making their blooms, and we were just waiting on the tomatoes to get ready to pull them, because we've been growing indeterminates and thought we'd give these determinates a try to get them done quicker. Well, we certainly got them done quicker this year, or the weather did anyway. I'm trying to be positive and try to see the good in it, and I guess the good in this is we're in Johnson County, Indiana, and I was watching our local news this morning, and the storm that we got yesterday that did so much damage here wind-wise and hail-wise, 10 minutes south of us, the local news said there was tornado touchdown. So, you know, in hindsight, I guess if you're going to lose anything, I'd rather lose 12 tomato plants and probably 12 giant Marconi plants than to lose our house. Most of these have holes in them, and then a lot of them, let's see, a lot of them just have spots like this in them where it's not a hole yet, but you can see how soft that is. It's already forming a hole. That's how soft they are. So even the ones that are bruised up, they're just going to rot on the vine. And several years ago, we grew a variety called Burpee Super Sauce Hybrid. They're a Roma tomato, but they get as big as softballs. And I have the videos in my playlist where we had tomatoes almost that big. And we had a big storm come through here, and we had them on a trellis, and we had about 60-mile-an-hour winds and really heavy rain, and it tore all of the leaves off of the plants. Knocked some of the tomatoes, but these tomatoes were huge, big as softballs almost on some of the plants, and big as baseballs on most of the plants. And we decided to leave them. Well, we found out about 3 to 4 weeks later, with all the defoliage on the plants, with the wind stripping all the leaves off the plants, we ended up getting sun scald in every tomato. They turned white and really soft and started rotting on the vine, so we went ahead and took those down too. So we're not going to go through that this year with these guys. Sometimes you have to count your losses and just yank the band-aid off, and that's what I did this morning. I went ahead and took these plants down. I'm going to get these beds cleaned out. You can see the beets took a hit, but I think the beets might come back. You can see that the Marconis weren't doing that well anyway, not like last year. We had great plants last year, but you can see what the hail did to them. It knocked holes in the peppers. You can see these peppers here. They have holes. This one I mean, the hole goes all the way through. It blew out the back of the pepper. So you can just see that right there, and that right there where it knocked a hole right. It's just, it's very disheartening, because I start everything from seed, and I usually start my seeds in about January, February. And when you got that much time involved in it, and you've got so much hands-on, it's really hard to let them go. But I already know the problems we're going to have. You can see that. I mean, you look, I put the stick here to keep the pepper from rotting on the ground, and then we end up getting holes knocked in it from the hailstorm, which I can't do anything about that. I just hope and pray that the people south of us, that they didn't get major damage and loss of homes. It was showing that it was pretty bad there, and even up into Michigan and even southern Indiana got hit pretty hard with this storm. We were fortunate and blessed to not have our roof ripped off our house. Our beans got shredded pretty hard. By the time I cut out all the bad leaves there, we're probably going to lose them too. And it's really hard, but you know what? You just got to keep going. We have one plant over here that we planted up underneath the eave of the house where we had our potatoes from. I just made a video on that. And it's still making it. It's got some limbs knocked off of it. The top's knocked out of it. But hopefully, I got a little bit of damage on some of them where the hail hit it. But maybe we'll get 4 or 5 tomatoes out of all this. We're not big on fried green tomatoes. I guess you could try to make some salsa verde. We're not big on that either. So our compost pile is going to love us this year, because I'm going to compost all these tomatoes, but all that green stuff there, the vegetation. I never compost my squash plants. I never compost potato plants, and I never compost tomato plants. So that's all going to go in the garbage. And we'll just get another start on it next year, and we'll write that off. Fortunately, when I seen the pH problem we were having in these boxes, I started a few more seedlings. So we have about 6 more plants on the other side of the house that are tiny little guys. But hey, we may get something out of those. And you know, we got to be grateful for every day we see above ground. And little things like this hurt, but they don't stop us. So if you like the content of the channel, give us a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe, and God bless.